Fortunately, we're talking again about English sports stars being subjected to racism. England's rugby union side lodged a complaint with World Rugby after players were abused during the second Test win over Argentina in San Juan this month. Meanwhile, over in Switzerland, the Lionesses have decided against taking a knee ahead of their Euros semi-final against Italy, which is live on talkSPORT tomorrow night. After Jess Carter was abused on social media, the squad says football needs to find another way of tackling racism. Simon Jordan says the game is doing its fair share of the work to combat this societal problem.
So I don't want to see football having to light up stadiums with LGBT flags. I don't think it's necessary. I think football is a game for entertainment. I think that ultimately football has a very strong stance on anti-discrimination. I'm not entirely sure what else it can do. It doesn't run the social media platforms. It's not in control of those sort of environments. And whether the social media platforms can do something more, whether they're considered to be publishers rather than just platforms, is a different discussion.
And Liam Dawson will join the Bazballers on Wednesday for his first Test match in 8 years. The spinner's the only change for the fourth Test at Old Trafford and replaces the injured Shoaib Bashir. England 2-1 up after a feisty win at Lord's, and Harry Brooks says they'll continue with their tactic of being nasty to India.
It looked like there was 11 versus 2 out there when we were fielding, and it was good fun. I have to admit, it was good fun. I think it put them under a little bit more pressure, obviously chasing a tough low score but on a tough pitch. It might have given them that little bit of added pressure, and thankfully they ended up crumbling and we won the game. They don't always have to be nice.
There's loads more analysis of this electric series on talkSPORT's cricket YouTube channel.
Welcome to the record-breaking sports bar with me, Max Scott, alongside former West Ham forward Carlton Cole. Jamie Haaaaas taken a promotion, anything to get off this show. He's on breakfast. Jason Cundy sunning it up somewhere, I don't know where he is. So you're left with me and Carlton Cole, but don't worry, because tonight Manchester United finally secure the signing of Brian Mbeumo after what seemed like years of negotiation. United fans, are you concerned about how long it's taken to sign a player from, with respect, Brentford? And is Mbeumo the type of signing that's going to take you where you need to be elsewhere? Marcus Rashford's on the way out. He's edging closer to a loan to Barcelona. If this is the end of his Premier League career, how will he be remembered in the Premier League? Should he have achieved more? Let us know. And Liverpool are continuing their summer spree, summer splurge. But we want to know, how would Arne Slot's Liverpool team fare against that legendary Jurgen Klopp side? Get involved. We cannot do the show without you. 03717 223344. This is the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Right, before we get into all of that, delighted to welcome in Carlton Cole. How are you, mate?
How are you, mate? Listen, yeah, I feel like I live here now.
Yeah, mate, same.
So do you, didn't you?
I've been here non-stop, mate.
Do you know what they call us?
What?
Polyfillers. We're the polyfillers. Whenever there's a gap, we just take it.
Mate,
we get the call from the boss, and he says, "Do you fancy it?" I say, "Yeah, I can. I can do it."
Time and place.
Yeah, definitely.
I tell you what, I don't know if polyfiller's better than. I've just been called by a producer 2 seconds before I got an air like I look like Alexander Usyk.
Oh, do you know what? Yeah, I can see where he's going with it. The hair, and if you had a gap in your teeth,
yeah.
if you had a gap in your teeth,
yeah.
Like me, I've got a little.
The thing is, I'm not a double-hard Ukrainian heavyweight fighter. You know what I mean?
There's quite a big difference.
I have been going to the gym past couple of months. I'm 32 years old, and probably past 2 months is the first 2 months solid where I've gone to the gym in my life.
But listen, for anybody that's watching this, if you can see him, does he look like Usyk? But I tell you what, he has got over Usyk. He's got height over Usyk. He's 6'7".
Yeah, but I am built like a bamboo, so I'm not going to profess to be like anywhere near that level.
This is the only person in the building that's taller than me.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
I feel inferior right now.
Tallest in the talkSPORT Towers, mate. I wear that badge of pride.
That's decent, that.
Right, let's get into it then. Before we get on to Marcus Rashford, I know a lot of people have got a lot of things to say about his move to, or proposed move. It looks like he's on his way to Barcelona. We need to start with a big news that's been breaking this evening. In a deal that's come completely from nowhere, Manchester United wrapped up a deal to sign Brian Mbeumo from Brentford in a deal worth £71 million. Carl, what's your immediate reaction to that? £71 million is a lot.
71 million quid core for Mbeumo. Well, look.
He's a player, and he's a Premier League proven player.
Yeah, I get all of that.
You seem underwhelmed.
But do you know what? It is what it is. Like, we shouldn't even be looking at the price. It's what he's going to be doing. So obviously, Amorim is a big admirer. Yeah. Obviously, so he's gone. He said, "Listen, just get it over the line," and you shouldn't really be looking at the price. Fans don't need to be looking at the price. You just want to know if the player is good enough or fits the system. And on top of that, you can't really. Can you get something like that that's been with the, as you said, Premier League experience, ready-made, ready to go? To come and enhance your squad, and it's not going to be like a massive settling in period. The only settling in period is knowing your teammates. Yeah. But the Premier League is already adjusted to it. And would you say that it's a step back for him, or would you say it's a step in the right direction, or what? Because at this point in time, I'm just talking about the football, not the club.
Yeah.
Talk about the football. Is it a step back? Because look where Man United finished.
Yeah.
Weren't good enough. But anything he does now will obviously improve Manchester United, because they definitely need it, didn't they?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think you might say from a performance perspective, maybe it is a step back. United, in another season, they might have been relegated. But ultimately, a move from Brentford to Manchester United, it's stuff for dreams, particularly if you've grown up watching Manchester United at the peak of their powers, which he will have done. You know, he said that he sort of, that was the first football shirt he had, he was wearing a United shirt, like a lot of people around the world. And so I don't think he'll see it as a step
shows
down.
that he was a glory hunter then, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? When I was at school, I was like a Man United fan as well, because I always went for the ones that are winning.
And Man United were disappointed in that.
And you know what? The other day I went to the cricket, and I was sharing a box with on hospitality with Andy Cole. And I told him what I felt about him, because he was another Cole in the Premier League, tearing up the Premier League, and I said, you inspired me. So seeing that era in front of me like that, and how they done everything they could do, and when you're a kid at school and you're watching these greats, Roy Keane or Andy Cole, David Beckham, Dwight York, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, there's legends of the game, and when you see them in the flesh, you've got to tell them and give them their props. So I understand where Mbeumo is coming from. Says, look, I want to don the red shirt, and it's probably a dream for him. And when you look at the status of the club, you've definitely got to go there. You know, it's not they can still draw, but this shows where Manchester United are at the moment. They can't go and get a proven Champions League player.
Rodrigo, for example. Yeah. Everyone seems to be linked with him apart from Manchester United. Because equally, why would you go to play for Manchester United now?
Yeah, unless you really believe in the project, you know. But Man United have to show something next season to be able to attract those type of players.
Absolutely. Now, the other big United transfer news from today, of course, involves Marcus Rashford, who's on the verge of signing for Barcelona on loan with an option to buy next summer. talkSPORT understands, of course, that Barcelona are willing to pay all of those wages, but I think he's taking a little bit of a wage cut as well. I want to get your take on this, Carlton, because Dean Saunders joined this morning's breakfast show and was baffled by the transfer.
How come Man United get rid of him and make him train on his own, and then he goes to Aston Villa and they don't want him, and he goes to Barcelona?
Yeah.
So is it Hansi Flick, the manager?
Hansi Flick, yeah.
So you're thinking, and Deco, who's his director of football, I think, I don't know what's going through their heads. What have they been watching that we haven't? Been the Rolls Royce. Fans expect you to have a nice car. They expect you to have a Range Rover, an S-Class Mercedes. But Elton John and Elvis drive around in 700 grand Rolls Royces. Don't they?
Yeah.
So
But they are the modern day rock stars.
Well, yeah, don't be a rock star. Be like Scotty Scheffler. Yeah. He's the opposite, isn't he? He just gets on with the job.
Dean Saunders there. He's not quite sure why Marcus Rashford's managed to get that move to Barcelona and what Hansi Flick's seasoning, but he's also fuming, Carlton, about the fact that he's got a Rolls Royce.
Oh,
I'm not sure about that. If he's got the money, fair play.
Dino's looking at the wrong things. Let's look at football, right? So, the back end of last season, he obviously went on loan to Villa. Done a good job, I thought. Pushed Villa to the next level. Everyone else around him stepped up,
right?
And they done well. He done well. Obviously,
but they didn't sign him. They could have bought him for 40 million. They've chose not to.
Money, wage. You got to think about wages. You got to think about all of this stuff. And it's not just about what they could. I don't know what happened. But I wasn't in those conversations. But you do kind of get. Well, does Villa want to spend that much money on wages to buy him and then give him parity with certain other players? So, for me, I think for Rashford, this is a great move. For him, there's going to be people going to say he don't deserve it, this, that, and the other. But you got to look at where Barca are at as well.
Yeah.
They probably saying, do you know what? This is going to bolster our attack. It's a new league for him. We don't know. I think he can probably play down the middle, and you got to look at it as well for Rashford. He might actually thrive in that league. You know, we don't know.
Without doubt.
We don't know. They've obviously done their homework and seen how he plays. They know who he is, and I think as we're coming down to the studio, you're talking about like shirt sales and all this sort of stuff that comes into play. So there's for Rashford, it's a dream move. I think it might be a good move for Barca because you're getting a player that, on top of his game, he can do bits. He's proven in the Champions League that he can affect it as well and do well. Whether he deserves it or not, that's not up for us to judge. No, that's for other people to judge. And I think he might go and do well over there. And if he does, fair play to him because he deserves some accolades from where he's come from. He's come from Manchester United's youth. He's gone on to be one of their main players. Hasn't worked out for him because he's whatnot. Look, Man United have never been, for the last 10 years, they've not been run properly.
No.
So he's a type of player, being young, coming through, and he's probably seen it, and he's probably taken some liberties as well. And he probably just needs a fresh start because it's just got toxic. And he wants to go, and people are seeing past probably the man, because everyone knows that Man United wasn't run properly. So they're looking, well, if we take him out of there, and then we've seen him when he's come out of there, he's gone and done well at Villa, maybe he's still got a little bit to give us when he comes over to a new country, new start, and he's more fresh, revived. Not saying that he was really good or world class at one stage, but he can actually, maybe if he can get to that level, close to that level, then he'll be an asset for Barcelona.
I see it a couple of different ways. Firstly, look, Hansi Flick isn't going to get Marcus Rashford in if he doesn't think A, he can benefit the squad, and B, he can improve him. You look at what he's done with Rafinha, who, came from Leeds, was really good at Leeds, helped him stay up, but he wasn't a world beater. And there was an argument that Rafinha could have been Ballon d'Or winner. So Hansi Flick's got a good record with people like Marcus Rashford, but I can understand fans saying it's not as if he lit the world alight when he was at Villa.
No.
How's he managed to get that move to Barcelona? Do you think he's underachieved in the Premier League?
I think it definitely, but you can see there's always been potential there. And I know now he's 27, 28, and that's probably gone now, the potential part. But when he's on his game, he can affect any type of game. When he's quick, he's strong. Yeah. Sometimes his decision making is really good as well. He can affect the game in different types of ways. Look, for instance, quick one. Another thing that's happened at Manchester United. You look at Anthony. He's gone over to La Liga.
Looks unbelievable.
He's gone over to La Liga and he's looked unbelievable.
Yeah.
So they're probably thinking it's a Man United thing.
Yeah.
So let's take some of their players, and then. If Anthony can do it, Rashford definitely can do it. So that's probably why, and that's probably the thinking. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here and just reasons why. But I believe in Marcus Rashford. I think he can affect the game over there. And it's a new league. I don't think it's as fast and furious as the Premier League as well. So he's gonna have good players around him to settle him in as well, to take the pressure off him as well. And so he can grow into it. So look, I think it's a great move.
Do you think that Marcus Rashford's ever been world class?
he was verging on that. Like he was doing bits. Like I don't know what season it was, but I just remember he was unstoppable one season and no one could get near him. That's why he got
22, 23.
That's when he got that big contract afterwards, and they needed to keep him. So there's something there, obviously, but world class. That's a different. We're talking about world class. We're talking about. He's not on a Lamine Yamal level. We're not talking about that type of world class, but he's effective. He's an effective player that is experienced as well. Remember, he's experienced. Yeah. And they're buying good experience right there.
Well, up next, we want your calls on Marcus Rashford. If this Premier League career is now over, does he go down as an underachiever in the Premier League? 03717 223344. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus, be gambleaware.org. Good evening, how are we? This is a record-breaking sports bar on talkSPORT with me, Max Scott, alongside Carlton Cole. Still to come, we're asking how this Liverpool side would fare up against that Jurgen Klopp team from a few years back. 03717 223344. But first, let's return to our chat about Marcus Rashford. Neil Warnock joined the White and Jordan show this morning and had his say on the loan move to Barcelona.
But I think he will have said, look, I want to go there. Whatever it costs me, I want to go there. Because to play at Real Madrid, Barcelona for a player like him who's really on the fringe of everything, isn't he? He's got to pull his finger out now, hasn't he, really, and show the ability that we all know he's got.
That's true, Neil Warnock, and it just spade a spade. He has to pull his finger out if he wants to, well, particularly if he wants to get into Thomas Tuchel's World Cup squad, right?
Well, that's the main aim for him. I think he needs to go and play regularly, go and play games. He could get in there. Like we've seen him do bits for England.
Yeah.
He's done it.
Yeah.
At one stage, he was Gareth's first name on a team sheet. So he needs to get back to that. But he's only going to get back to that with the right attitude. And as Neil Warnock said, bluntly, get your finger out, mate. Because right now, where you're at, I think he's quite fortunate to get a move. Usually, you get a move and it's somewhere low. Like you go to a Watford or something like that.
Charlton Athletic to rebuild your career. He's rebuilding it in the new camp.
So he's very fortunate that he's done well enough now, and everybody knows that he can be a player. There's no doubt there's talent there, obviously, but now it's just getting the right frame of mind. And there's no better place to go and do it in the sun.
I know,
in Barcelona.
Catalonia.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Do you reckon he'll be in the World Cup squad next year?
Well, depending on how he does, like it's up to him. He can be, of course, because when he's up at his game, and he's a massive asset for anyone.
Yeah.
But he just needs to get back to that, and there's no better place to go and try and prove yourself with great players around you as well.
Yeah.
At a club as big as Barcelona,
And they're the Spanish champions,
so
riding a wave at them.
he's going to have the. If he can get going and get regular football in that team, there's no reason why he's not going to major league competitions, because with England as well. So I just want to see him back to his best and enjoying football again, because as a footballer, there's nothing worse when you're not enjoying your football. You can see it just seeps through your pores. People know that you're upset and then just want you away from it, and it got toxic at Man United, and then he goes to Villa and then you saw signs of life. So that's where he needs to build from now.
And look, I think there's one thing you can say about this England squad, that there is a space on that left wing. Like, you know, Saka, that's his spot on the right. Harry Kane, it's his spot. You've got Jude Bellingham, Cole Palmer. All of those can play through the middle in 10, 8, whatever. Or not Cole Palmer, but
No one's locked it off yet.
Locked it off.
You've got Gordon on that side. Obviously, Raheem's not around no more in the England squad. But yes, Gordon, you had Grealish. But Grealish needs to get back on his feet as well. So there's a space there. If he has a good season, he's back in.
Who knows? We'll see. Right, we're going to go to the phone lines because I'm looking at the screen now. And as is often the case when we talk about Marcus Rashford, people want to have their say.
What are you talking about, Colton? He's a disgrace. He's really lucky.
So we're going to go straight to Stephen, a Man United fan. Stephen, talk to me. What do you make of Marcus Rashford going to Barcelona? Are you happy for him as a United fan, or do you think good riddance?
It's like a little bit bittersweet. It's like I'm pleased for him that he's moving on and he can put a smile back on his own face. But like most United fans, just extremely frustrated with he's got all the physical attributes, all of the talent, more talent and more physical attributes on his side than most Premier League footballers. But he just lacks work ethic. And what I mean by that is work ethic on the pitch, not work ethic with your social media posts of you doing press-ups in the gym and doing squats and that over the summer. When you put him on a pitch at Old Trafford, he's not putting in a shift.
Why is that, Stephen? Why do you think that's the case? Because he's playing for his boyhood club. He's come through the system at Carrington. You would think that he cares more than anybody. But you're saying you don't see that from him. Why do you think that is?
I feel like, as a club, when we've done this with... You were talking about transfers earlier, right, and how much we pay. We pay players too much money before they deserve that amount of money. And I think Rashford has got ideas above his own station. He has never been a consistent 15 to 20 goal a season player. Look back at his record since he's broken through at United. He's had a couple of purple patches.
Yeah.
Even the season when he scored 25, 30 goals... He was pretty crap after the Carabao Cup final in February, right the way through to the end of that season, and we scraped into the Champions League by the skin of our teeth. But he went on holiday as soon as he scored in the final. He went on holiday for the rest of the season. One of the contributing factors to the toxic environment, I think, are players like Rashford and Sancho. They seem to have this mentality about them. Despite their capabilities, they're just the wrong type of people now for Premier League football. You've got to graft first and then let your talent shine through afterwards, not the other way around.
I agree with you. He's great point there. But for me, look, Rashford's one of those players where you look at him, you think, as he said, you think this boy can do everything. He can do it if he really applies himself. I think the back end of his Manchester United, he had purple patches. He did, but
he scored 30 goals in 2022.
He never built on it. He rested on that and relied on that to get him through. And there's this thing as well that clubs do have. When you're homegrown, you know that you're gonna be all right because you're secure, because they need you.
Yeah.
Whether you're playing well or not, you get a new contract.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you're too safe. Players nowadays need to be.
Do you think they're entitled? Do you think players are entitled?
No, I don't think they're entitled, but I just think they're comfortable. They're comfortable. When you're giving them all the money in the world, there's nothing to go and get and fight for, because. And that's where professionalism has to kick in. You got to know, okay, and that's what separates the elite from the good players.
Stephen's still on the line. Stephen, I've got to ask you, I think you make a really good point there, but while you're here on Brian and Mbeumo, we've got a text through from someone called Mike, and I think you'll agree with this. He says, Man United used to shop at M&S and pay M&S prices. Now they shop in farm foods and still pay M&S petrol station prices.
Gone down to Lidl.
Yeah. Stephen, what do you make of Brian Mbeumo? I mean, are you excited about him sort of as an incoming player? Premier League proved he looks dangerous, but how do you feel about the price tag as well? 71 million quid all in.
Well, I feel like look at some of the other transfers this summer that have not had anywhere near scrutiny. Anthony Elanga, who we sold, has just moved to Newcastle for 55 million. He was half as productive as Mbeumo last season. So we're paying maybe 10 million more up front for Mbeumo, but we're getting somebody who is an absolute goal threat and creates a lot of goals for other people. He works hard off the ball, which is all the fans really want from a player. I think it's a great buy, especially when you compare the amount of money that's being splashed around in the market now for Ekitike, not proving in the Premier League. Liverpool signed him. Everyone's picking him up and loving him. They're paying more for him as an out-and-out goal scorer who's unproven in the Premier League. I think the critical thing for United is we've made a lot of mistakes signing unproven players, particularly from Holland. You know, we all know the mistakes we've made there. But I'm excited about the Mbeumo signing. He's a great age. He's got great physicality. And I think he'll be a great addition to the squad. Definitely better than what we've got in the final third at the moment.
I hear what you're saying about Ekitike, but remember, he's only 23 years old, so you're buying the years as well. For Liverpool, understand they're buying years.
Yeah.
And look, Mbeumo, what is he, 27, 28?
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah. So look, Ekitike, you can't. I don't think you can compare the two. Like, it's different, and I know Liverpool are paying loads of money for him, but they're paying for the years.
Yeah.
Where Mbeumo, you're paying for the experience. So
he's only 25 as well, so he's got experience and he's still got plenty of years left.
Oh, so he's 25. Yeah. So he's all right. He's all right. So I think it's a good buy. I think that fans shouldn't worry about the money. That's up to the club to sort out with PSR and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Forget that. Is he adding to your squad? Is he bolstering it up? Is he making that squad better? That's all you need to worry about. Because when you start looking at money and that, then you might as well go into the boardroom because that's not your business.
To be fair, Stephen was clued up. I reckon he could have done well in boardroom. To be fair.
He knows everything. Yeah. He knows the facts and figures.
Right, that was Stephen, the United fan. We're now going to speak to Steve, the United fan. Steve, thanks for coming on the show, mate. What do you make, first of all, of the Marcus Rashford situation? Are you pleased for him? Or do you think that, it's absolutely mad that he's managed to get a move to Barcelona?
It's a great move for Barcelona, and he deserves it, right? He's won trophies for United. He's never let England down. In the last World Cup, he was England's best player. In the last, Harry Kane has played 3 finals for England, and he's played rubbish. He should be England's number 9. Let's move on from Harry Kane. Marcus Rashford, it should be the future of England number 9.
Marcus Rashford should be England's number 9, Steve. Is that what you're saying?
The last World Cup, Rashford was
really good. He was really good.
In 2024. He was England's best player. Harry Kane in the Euros was rubbish, and nobody said, you're saying Harry Kane should be first on the team sheet. Are you having a laugh?
Well, those words didn't come out my mouth, but I think he'd probably be up there, Steve, yeah.
Yeah, his goal record's unbelievable.
He takes penalties for England. He's England penalty taker. He doesn't score goals.
Oh, this sounds like an attack just right. Harry Kane's got nothing to do in this conversation.
How have you managed to drag Harry Kane's name through the mud?
Because Marcus Rashford never gets the credit for what he's due. He's won every trophy apart from the league. Right?
Do you know what? I've never heard anybody defend Marcus Rashford. So go. I'm going to let you do it.
Carlton.
Yeah.
Carlton, listen to me carefully.
Yeah, man.
He's won more trophies than all the presenters on talkSPORT.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
Right? Has he won the
talkSPORT trophy though, Steve?
Yeah.
Has he scored the winning goal in talkSPORT trophy?
He ain't won the playoff final trophy, mate. He ain't won the playoff.
He just won the FA Cup again. He won the FA Cup on the Marino. He won it to Bash on the Den Haag as well. He provides the cross for the goal. You're having a laugh, right?
Steve, do you think that Marcus Rashford has sort of played well in the last couple of seasons? Do you think he has earned a move? He's been dropped by Ruben Amorim. He's gone to Aston Villa. To be fair, he played well. But are you seriously saying that Marcus Rashford has deserved the move to Barcelona, that he deserves to be England's number 9 based on performances that you've seen with your own eyes in the past year?
Yes, because against PSG, he nearly turned the game around.
That's the important word, though, Steve. Nearly.
He turned in the last half. He turned the match around for them. That's all you need to do.
Did they win it?
The other Villa players.
Did they win it?
They lost by 1 goal. 1 goal.
Yeah.
They were way down, and Marcus Rashford, showed them heart and won the game for them. Nearly won the game for them.
Steve.
Right? Cameron didn't get him down. United had so much turmoil. on the last 5 or 6 seasons. That's why Rashford's been unhappy.
Yeah.
Right?
Steve,
fair point.
Steve.
He deserves a knighthood better than David Beckham. Look what he did for the school kids.
Steve.
David Beckham's done nothing for school kids. Rashford gave them dinners during COVID when they had nothing. Right?
Steve.
That's somebody who's got a heart.
Steve.
Yeah.
Have you gone out and bought a Marcus Rashford shirt? You're going to buy a Barcelona one?
I don't support Rashford. I like to know, right, you keep going on that Rashford, does he deserve it?
I'm not going on nothing. I'm going on nothing. I'm not going on nothing. I feel like you're attacking me. I feel like you're attacking me. I haven't said anything wrong about Rashford.
Carlton, I supported you when you went to West Ham, when you played for Chelsea.
What are you coming for me for?
What have you done for the school children? What have you done for the school children, Carlton?
When you got your England shirt, I went and bought a shirt just because you got it, because I thought
really?
you deserved it. Yes.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Right? All I want
Respect.
to know, you guys should have a fair chance, right? Marcus Rashford has done more for the UK than any other player has done. Look what he's done.
No, I think that's a fair point to make. What Marcus Rashford did during the pandemic, Steve.
Steve, listen to me.
Very good.
Steve, listen to me. Listen to me.
Yeah. Yes, Carlton.
I know that you're irate about this. A lot of people give Rashford a hard time. I already know that.
Yes,
I think it's unjust as well, because I actually like the fella. Yeah, I think he can be a good player. But I'm saying he hasn't applied himself at Man United in that toxic environment when you're looking for a leader. Yeah. And he hasn't. You can't tell me he has. But the thing is, wait. Listen. But the thing is, I'm not begrudging him going to fill his boots up at Barcelona, because I think he done the back end. I'm going on facts and figures. I think the back end of last season, because I know he's a good player, I think he can go and cut it over there. You know, because it's a different league, it's different for a different environment. Maybe he'd be able to spread his wings again and show the potential that show the player that I've seen before and potentially could have been world class eventually. But he's not got to them heights because of other stuff that's happened at Manchester United. And it's not been a great time for him at Man United, because it's been toxic at Manchester United, and they're still coming out of that. And he can't be a part of that because he has a big factor of being part of the problem why Man United has got that culture at the moment.
He's not the problem.
It's a bad culture.
We have a striker for 70 million who can't hit a backside in front of him with the ball. Right? Nobody ever mentions that we have a 70 million we paid, and he's getting paid, and he can't score goals. We don't.
You talk about Højlund. You talk about Højlund.
Yeah, we've got a striker. How come Rashford gets all the heat? Right? We've got strikers there who can't score a goal. Right? We got Ilanga came very cheap to us from Sweden. Right? We get rid of him. Right? Last year he murdered us.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right?
It's not been run properly. It's been toxic over there.
Steve, look, I'm afraid
no one is blaming Rashford. No one is. Did I blame Rashford?
Steve, we're going to have to go because we've got to go over to the darts. But that was one of the most impassioned defences of Marcus Rashford from Steve, the United fan. That was Steve from the official Marcus Rashford Supporters Trust, calling in, backing him, saying that he deserves a knighthood and he should start in front of Harry Kane as England's number 9. Right, the World Match Play Darts is back in Blackpool, and Ian Danter is watching all of the action for talkSPORT. What's the latest, Ian?
Well, we're into the final match of the night. We've already seen the 3 seeded players go through. 2 of them in relative comfort in Chris Dobie and Michael van Gerwen, the 3-time winner. He knocked out his compatriot Raymond van Barneveld at MVG, whilst Chris Dobie saw off Ricardo Pietreczko. Both those games were a bit of a slog. Gerwin Price managed a 100 average in seeing off Daryl Gurney of Northern Ireland by 10-7, but it was a bit feisty at the end. Price thought that Gurney was mocking his celebrations during the course of the game, and the handshake was not warm. But the other Northern Irishman is playing tonight, and Josh Rock has raced into a 5-0 lead in a race to 10 against big 180 hitter Ross Smith. Well, he's normally a big 180 hitter, but he's just not finding his form. Rock has hit a 167 checkout in the course of going 5-0 up, and he looks favourite to knock out another seed, which would make it 7 seeds of the 16 going out, which would equal the tournament record for seeds departing in round 1. All the coverage continues on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel right now, and also on talkSPORT 2.
Brilliant stuff, Dan. Thank you. You'll be keeping us updated across the action from the World Match Play Darts in Blackpool.
Have you been to the darts in Blackpool?
I've never been in Blackpool, mate. I've been in Leeds.
Oh.
When I was about 16, a little whippersnapper, mate. It was carnage. It was carnage, mate. Yeah. Right, up next, we're taking more of your calls on Marcus Rashford's loan move to Barcelona. Do you agree with Steve, who thinks he could start for England at number 9 and be knighted at next summer's World Cup? 03717 223344. You're listening to the Sports Bar on TalkSport with TalkSport Bet. Download the new TalkSport Bet app today. 18 plus B. GambleAware.org. Yeah, this is a record-breaking sports bar on TalkSport with me, Max Scott, alongside Carlton Cole. Still to come, we're joined by European football expert Kev Hatchard, who's going to tell us just how good this Hugo Ekitike is. But first, we just heard from Steve, the United fan, who not only thinks Rashford has overachieved, but that he deserves a knighthood. Carlton, that was one of the most passionate defences of Marcus Rashford. And fair play to him, he believes it to his core.
Some serious lyrics was spitting there. He was spitting some serious lyrics. And listen, I felt the passion, and that's what we want on this show.
And look, one thing I would say is you can't deny that what Marcus Rashford has done off the pitch, you know, for children in the country, etc., free school meals and COVID. I was a teacher at the time when all that happened, and we needed that. And so what he did there cannot be taken away from him. And so I think some of the questions that you have around him, his personality, ultimately people don't know him. But I can understand why Manchester United fans feel that the way he's acted on the pitch hasn't been befitting of their own player or their own club. We got a text in from Leroy who says, I'm sure the haters will come for this, but I couldn't care less. Marcus Rashford acts like a petulant, entitled child. That MBE clearly inflated his ego. He now carries himself like he's bigger than Manchester United. Good riddance. Again, I think that's pretty harsh on him. I can understand why you don't want him at the club because of how he plays. But to say that just because he's got an MBE, all of a sudden he's turned off on the pitch, I don't see how that works out.
Nah, look, sometimes it's like like a girlfriend. Sometimes you grow apart. You don't like this. You're not into the same things anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's just what's happened. He's grown apart. He's not in love with the club as much as he probably thought he was.
And the point you make as well about the culture at Manchester United.
It was hard to fall in love with that.
It's difficult for players, I think to really get the best out of them when the culture has been so toxic. And so I think you can blame both. You can blame Marcus Rashford.
For his professionalism,
and you can also blame the club, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right, we're going back to the phone lines. We got Kevin. I think Kevin's a Liverpool fan, or he's a Man United fan behind the lines in Liverpool. Kevin, first of all, who do you support and what do you make of Marcus Rashford?
I'm a Liverpool fan, mate.
Okay, brilliant. So what do you make of his move to Liverpool? Do you think, he's going to succeed? Can you see him sort of rejuvenating his career, maybe even finding his way into the England squad?
Well, what I think is, I agree with Carlton there. He wants to move to a different club and better his career. And that's his own opportunity. To Michael Owen. Steve McManaman done it. Steve McManaman made the bet one Real Madrid, Michael Owen didn't.
Yeah.
So maybe Marcus Rashford over in Barcelona could do something better than he's at Man United, because Man United is a dead club.
Yeah, it's not Man United of old, is it? And he had a lot of pressure, Marcus Rashford, at Manchester United, being like one of the highest paid at the club, being homegrown, and maybe he just wasn't up for that. Maybe they thought he was something that he's not. He was probably wanted to be part of a project when it looks like everything was supposed to be built around him, and it didn't live up to it. And there's things that happen, there's circumstances that happen that make you go the other way, and it doesn't work out. It's his fault, but then it's Manchester United's fault as well, because they kind of, when you've got a player of that ilk, they know him better than anybody else. Yeah. They know what's going to make him tick. So and when it's so unsettled at a club like that, the culture's not great. You can see then lots of things are going to get rotten, and you saw it. Look, when you take it, let's go to. I've already talked about Anthony. So Anthony goes to Real Betis and lights up the league.
Yeah, unbelievable.
People, we didn't know that he was going to go and do that. So Barcelona probably looking at that, thinking, do you know what? Let him come over here. He's not cut it at Manchester United lately, but we know there's a player in there because he's done it in the Premier League, the back end of last season with Villa, and until he got injured, he was doing all right.
Yeah, he was definitely better.
So he's back on the road.
You can't blame him, by the way, for going from Manchester United, who finised 16th, 17th, 16th. You can't blame him from going to the Spanish champions.
Yeah,
I mean,
why wouldn't you?
Who wouldn't do that?
Listen, no, I think that's too much for me. No footballer's going to say, I ain't going to do that. Yeah. Although he's going to get more exposure over there, like he's opening up to a different market over there as well. So it's all plus for Marcus Rashford. Whether you think he deserves it or not, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. He's got to go and do it now, and he's getting the chance, and that's what he's got to do. He's just got to get his head around it and get his. When you go into a new establishment, new league, everything's fresh. He probably needs this. And we'll probably see a new and improved Marcus Rashford, because it might fall in his lap that he's going to actually go and do bits over there where he couldn't do it in the Premier League, like at the back end of it. Well, he did. There was signs of life at Villa, but to do it consistently, he needs to go over there and start again. Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Lewis is a Manchester United fan. Lewis, you've been listening. You've heard Steve say that he deserves a knighthood, that he should be playing England's number 9. What do you make of that in terms of the view from a Manchester United perspective of Marcus Rashford?
Well, personally, at the moment, I don't think they should be playing for England at the moment.
Yeah, on form, I think people would get that, but if he picks his form up at Barcelona, then you've got to take a serious look at him. Yeah. He's got to come back in the fold.
Well, I suppose so, but personally, I don't agree that he should be going to Barcelona. I don't think he deserves to move.
What do you think, Hansi Flick? I understand your sentiment, mate. I do. I get it, because from a United fan's perspective, you've not seen what you think your club deserves from one of their own players. But ultimately, Barcelona have seen something in him. Hansi Flick's seen something in him, and they want to pay him 250 grand a week, take him off your wage bill, which is desperately needed for you boys, by the way. So they've obviously seen something in him. What do you think they've seen in him?
Well, I think they've seen pace. The first thing I think they've seen in him is pace. The fact that he played in the Premier League. But to be honest with you, I don't think they're getting a great deal, because I don't think Rashford is as good as what they think he is. And I think he can only do that temporarily.
And I think he did that at Villa. He dropped off after a while.
Yeah, listen, you don't look. See, the Premier League. It's a grueling place to play football. Yeah, I'm not saying La Liga isn't, but I think it's not as good as the Premier League. You've got the best teams, yes, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico, maybe one more, but that could probably get in and around Champions League in the Premier League too. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, but when I look at the league as a whole, apart from those teams, he's going to be playing against lesser teams, so he's going to have more time, more space, more respect. So he's got a chance to go and fill his boots and go and get some momentum again. And maybe, you never know, he might be consistent.
Do you think that shows that he has underachieved, though? Because
he definitely
he's going to a league where it's going to be easier for him. And as you say, if that's a move he wants,
it might not be easier. It might not be. I'm just speculating right now. It might not be easier. I'm just saying, I think it might be better for him to go somewhere like that. I would like when you see Harry Kane going to Germany and doing bits over there, you'd like to think that going to another country for some of our English boys is a better option.
And you look at some of the younger players that are doing that, you know. When was Jadon Sancho's career at its best? When he was playing in Europe. Right? How did Jude Bellingham sort of excel to become then Real Madrid's main man? He played in Europe. So I can certainly see a world where this goes really well for Marcus Rashford. And I hope it does. I hope it does because, well, ultimately, I'm not hoping anything negative on somebody. And I certainly hope it does for England's sake. Because like I said, I think that there is a position there for him. But ultimately, I do understand why there will be Man United fans out there that feel a bit burned by it. Because they've given him so much love. They've given him everything that they can as fans. And yes, it's turned sour, but ultimately it's turned sour because it looks like to them he's switched off. And so I think I can understand it both sides because I can understand from a United fan's perspective that he's just given up on us.
I don't know if it's giving up or it just doesn't fit anymore. It's as simple as that. It just doesn't fit. He didn't look happy when he was playing. I remember him scoring a goal and he didn't smile. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking, well, he's definitely not happy. And whatever. Remember, he was coming into he gets plastered sometimes with the responsibility of being captain without being captain because he's not actually the captain, but he does get criticised more than most. He's one of their own. He gets criticised more than most. That must be a lot of pressure. When you wake up in the morning, when you go into the training ground and you know that the crowd booed me last week or they weren't happy with me and they're all because some of them know him personally. Do you know what I mean? He's a local lad. Do you know what I mean? So I can't put myself in his shoes. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people can't either. But Man United fans know the real deal, and they've seen when he does try and seen when he doesn't. And I haven't been watching Marcus Rashford that much to know when he's switching on and when he switches off. And only the Man United fans can judge that because they watch him week in, week out. And then when they go and see him excel somewhere else, that is going to hurt. It will hurt.
It will. Right, up next, we want your calls on Liverpool's summer business. Could this Arne Slot team surpass that of Jurgen Klopp's side from a few years back? 03717223344. If you call, you will get through. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus speed, gambleaware.org. morning. This is the record-breaking Sports Bar on talkSPORT with me, Max Scott, alongside Carlton Cole. Jamie Haaaaas looked for any reason to get off this show. He's presenting breakfast this week. And Jason Cundy is, he's sunning
on holiday, isn't he?
He's been telling me about his holiday plans, man. I've forgotten, because he's gone away for weeks. I've forgotten what they were, but they sounded unreal. I think his son's getting married, you know. I think his son's getting married in Rome or Venice or something like that.
Is it?
And then he's got a nice little road trip with the missus planned. So fair play to him.
Good for him. Good. He deserves it. He works hard.
Mate. He does.
Works hard.
Top bloke is Jace. Right, still to come, we're joined by European football expert Kevin Hatchard, who's going to tell us just how good Hugo Ekitike is. But first, Perry Groves joined the Sunday session yesterday and made this big claim about Liverpool's attitude in this summer transfer window.
Liverpool are channeling, and it, obviously being a gooner, I don't want to sign anybody.
Yeah.
But they're channeling their inner Sir Alex Ferguson, whereby every time that Manchester United won the title, they had not a massive reboot, they had a bit of evolution where they got rid of free players, but brought in free players that go into the start, not squad players,
superstars,
into the starting 11. So look, Kirkes is coming in, upgrade on Robertson. Wirtz comes in, obviously he'll play in like 10 position or, in a little bit wider.
Coley, you've got to admit, right, that this summer transfer window has been one big, massive flex from the current champions who are just thinking, we ain't stopping here. What's got us here isn't going to get us where we want to be. We're going for it.
Well, when you look at it, right, what did they do last season? They didn't do much in the season.
They brought
Chiesa in, didn't they?
Who played about 3 seconds.
Exactly. So they didn't do much shopping last season. I think they're going to have a right go this season. And get back up to scratch. Obviously Trent's been a big miss.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big miss. No one plays like him, but they've brought in Frimpong, they brought in Kirkes. So defensively,
Kirkes looks unreal, by the way.
Yeah, so defensively they've bolstered up a little bit. You've just signed Van Dijk on a huge bumper deal, so he's secure. Now they're going to be looking. Okay, what are we bringing up front? So they've already gone in for Ekitike. I always get his name wrong. Ekitike. And he's 23. He's 23 years old. He's gonna try and get. And we've also got. They probably, you don't know. They might still be in the market for one other striker.
Well,
Isak.
I was going to ask you about that. Do you think they should have held out for Isak? Because he is as close as you can come in the Premier League to the finished article. For me, he's the best striker in the Premier League at the minute. And they've got Hugo Ekitike, who by all accounts looks to be a top player with a lot of potential, but he's not played in the Premier League yet. Do you think that they should have held out for him?
I think you get him in first. You still got Nunez there.
Yeah.
So if Nunez if you're still thinking Nunez has still got to go, they could still go for him.
And also, if you ship him off to Saudi for 70 million quid, which is some of the fees that've been bandied around, that's half an Alexander Isak.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, it looks like a viable thing to do.
So just depending on what they do with him, then Isak might be an option. But they've obviously got to crunch the numbers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, as they do, make it work. So to make it happen, but they've already got a striker in that is you can see that's got pedigree.
Yeah,
and it's got legs on it because he might do well and actually be worth something more later on down the line. But right now, everyone's playing second fiddle to Salah. So you got to be able to work with Salah. Do you know what I mean?
And that's why I think Ekitike is a good deal, because
the way he plays,
and also there's a bit less pressure on him.
Yeah.
He can come in, he knows Salah's the main man, and he might just get 12, 13 goals or something like that. Yeah. And actually, that's still a really good season.
That's enough.
Because you're going to be getting goals from Wirtz, you're going to be getting goals from Salah, from Diaz.
And I'm sure he'll get loads of assists.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The way he plays, I've seen him. He's nice, strong lad. Gets about the pitch really well. Very mobile. Handful for defenders. So yeah, he's got a lot of. He's going to have to adjust. But what's the best team to adjust in when you've got someone to play off like a Salah?
Yeah,
and then you got the best manager in the league at the moment, Slot. And let's see what he comes up with. But yeah, I don't think that Isak is over yet. I think Isak might still come later on down the line.
Well, we'll ask Liverpool fans that are clogging up our phone lines in a second. But first, we're going to go back to Dance, who's at the World Match Play Darts. It's finished up there, Dance, hasn't it?
It has. Josh Rock is through to round 2 and has knocked out a 7th seed from this first round by doing so, because Ross Smith from Deal in Kent is out. I mentioned in my last report to you that Rock has had raced into a 5-0 lead at the first interval. Well, Smith did rally in the second session to get some respectability on the scoreline, but then Rock found some great finishing, including a 140 to go with a 167 that he picked off earlier in the match. So Rock has won 10-5 with an average of 104 for the 3-yard average. That means on Wednesday he will take on Michael van Gerwen, who won earlier against Raymond van Barneveld. Also, Chris Dobie has made it through to the next round. But as I mentioned, 7 seeds have gone of the 16 that went into this first round. That is a joint record at these World Match Play Championships. Round 2 will start tomorrow night from 7 p.m. and you can listen to it live on talkSPORT 2 and have our live and free watch-alongs as well on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel.
Brilliant stuff, Dan. Thank you very much, Ian Danta, reporting for us on all the very latest up in Blackpool at the World Match Play Darts. Of course, you can keep up to date on all the very latest on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. But we're quickly going to head over to Tom, the Liverpool fan. Tom, thanks for calling in, mate. What do you want to say?
Just had a quick word about Ekitike.
Yeah, go on.
I'm not. To be honest, before, if Rob Edwards wasn't in Liverpool, then I would definitely question the transfer.
How come? Why? What aren't you sure about with him?
His record. We're paying £80 million for a player that's scored 20-odd goals. It's unheard of.
He scored 15 and 33 last season.
Yeah, for one season. For about 4 seasons previous, it's like he's lucky to get double figures.
Do you know? But he's only 23, so he's young. So he's still learning his trade. Bundesliga.
Yeah,
it's very hard.
I'm excited by it.
Yeah.
But I don't believe he's worth the value they valued him. But again, like you said earlier, it's not for us to.
Yeah.
Do you not think, as Liverpool, though, as a massive club that you are, the worldwide sort of organisation you are, you've just won your 20th Premier League title, that there's a little bit of a, an added tax to Liverpool?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's going to be that.
To be honest, I can't even see us going back in for Isak this year.
Why not?
The way Nunez has been playing and starting in pre-season, I don't believe they're going to get rid of him, as Napoli have pulled out.
But even if Darwin Nunez has been bagging goals against sort of Andorran second division teams or whatever it is, I know I'm speaking facetiously, but surely you'd prefer to get Isak in, right?
100%. I'll get rid of Isak and Ekitike for Isak. But the Ekitike, he's done it in France. It's like playing in the Championship. It's not as good as everyone's making out it is.
No. Listen, he's a young player. He's a young player. Give him a chance. He's a young player, and under the guidance of Slot. Slot knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and I think Arne Slot and all the top brass at Liverpool, they're not going to be paying
all the recruitment.
They're not going to be paying £80 million without knowing that there's an absolute player in there.
There's a diamond there.
And I, for one, I'm excited to see him at Liverpool. I'm excited to see a new talented striker in the Premier League.
Well, they paid £80 million for Nunez.
Well, exactly, and he didn't turn out to be the best.
This is less money.
Right, up next, we want to hear from more Liverpool fans, and we want to know specifically. I'm going to be asking Coley this: could this Arne Slot side that he's building be better than Jurgen Klopp's best team? 0371722 344. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus BigGambleAware.org.
Hugo Ekitike will be in the UK tomorrow for his Liverpool medical. The club have agreed to pay Frankfurt up to $79 million for the 23-year-old striker, which takes the champions' summer spending to almost £300 million.
And now we have to wait and see whether the unthinkable could happen, and it might be Ekitike and Isak. There'll obviously have to be an outgoing, maybe two, if that's the case. So Darwin Núñez is expected to leave. Possibly Luis Diaz. Bayern expected to make a second bid there. But Liverpool are not done yet. And in addition to probably adding another attacker, another centre-back likely to come through the door.
Now, unfortunately, we're talking again about English sports stars being subjected to racism. England's rugby union side lodged a complaint with World Rugby after players were abused during the second test win over Argentina in San Juan this month. Meanwhile, over in Switzerland, the Lionesses have decided against taking a knee ahead of their Euros semi-final against Italy, which is live on talkSPORT tomorrow night. After Jess Carter was abused on social media, the squad says football needs to find another way of tackling racism. Simon Jordan says the game is doing its fair share of the work to combat this societal problem.
So I don't want to see football having to light up stadiums with LGBT flags. I don't think it's necessary. I think football is a game for entertainment. I think that ultimately football has a very strong stance on anti-discrimination. I'm not entirely sure what else it can do. It doesn't run the social media platforms. It's not in control of those sort of environments. And whether the social media platforms can do something more, whether they're considered to be publishers rather than just platforms, is a different discussion.
And Liam Dawson will join the Bazballers on Wednesday for his first Test match in 8 years. The spinner's the only change for the fourth Test at Old Trafford and replaces the injured Shoaib Bashir. England 2-1 up after a feisty win at Lord's, and Harry Brooks says they'll continue with their tactic of being nasty to India.
It looked like there was 11 versus 2 out there when we were fielding, and it was good fun. I have to admit, it was good fun. I think it put them under a little bit more pressure, obviously chasing a tough low score but on a tough pitch. Yeah, it might have given them that little bit of added pressure, and thankfully they ended up crumbling and we won the game. They always have to be nice.
There's loads more analysis of this electric series on talkSPORT's cricket YouTube channel.
Good evening and welcome to the record-breaking sports bar with me, Max Scott, alongside former Chelsea forward Carlton Cole. Still to come, we're going to be joined by European football expert Kevin Hatchard, who's going to tell us just exactly how good Hugo Ekitike is. And we've got a midnight trivia, and we need your help. 03717 223344. But before that, we're having a discussion about Liverpool, whose summer spending has now surpassed 250 million quid. We're asking whether this Arne Slot side that he's building could be better than that great Jurgen Klopp side from a few years back. We've got the teams in front of us, Coley. I mean, I'll start with Jurgen Klopp's just as a reminder. I mean, Slots is fresh in our mind because they were absolutely class on the grass last season. We've got Alisson in goal, Trent obviously at right back, Joe Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, so pretty similar there other than Matip. Henderson, Fabinho, Wijnaldum in midfield, Salah, Firmino, Mane. I mean, straight off the get-go, the first thing that comes to my mind is you cannot top, currently, Salah, Firmino and Mane in the peak of their powers, in the pomp of their powers. They were unreal.
Firmino, when you look back now, I think he was underappreciated in the Premier League. The way his style was unbelievable. And he was selfless, chipped in with goals as well. But suited Mane and Salah to a T. Yeah, that front three was unbelievable when it was at its peak. So I was really sad seeing Firmino go. It was a really,
it
really
was a loss for the league, wasn't it?
It was a loss for because he's a beautiful football player. Like the way he plays, his style, and the way he drops deep, gets on the back foot, puts players in. So, yeah, it was a big loss. But Mane as well, he was a big loss for the Premier League as well. I was so sad seeing him go too. So, but yeah, when I look at it, Firmino and Mane, I'd take them every day of the week over the Diaz and Nunez.
But saying that, in a year's time, so when I look at this now, I think, yeah, Klopp's side beats Slot's as it stands. But if you're talking about Hugo Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, Kirkes, and now, well, you've got Connor Cody, but who's the lad, Jeremy Frimpong, I think if they have a good season under the belt, you might be suddenly saying, they're better than Klopp's side.
Yeah, maybe. But when I look at, I'm just going on the front three. That front three is unbelievable. So for me, and then you look at the midfield. The midfield's quite decent. Klopp's midfield was very good. Henderson, obviously. Fabinho, top player. Wijnaldum, good player as well. But then you got Szoboszlai. So I do like Szoboszlai. I think he's a really top player. I think he's not world class, but he can be. The way he plays is very adventurous. He finds good balls into the final third. He's got a good shot on him, long distance shot.
Do you reckon this team, Arne
McAllister's unbelievable as well, isn't he?
Do you reckon he can get 99 points though, Arne Slot's? As it stands?
Yeah, he could. It depends what type of competition they got around them next season. If they're going to be they have to be pushed to get that. They weren't pushed last season. They'd won the league by Jan. Do you know what I mean? So when you look at it like that, they didn't really have any competition. Every time Liverpool get pushed and they're in a race, they come up with the points. They come up with the goals. So
yeah, they didn't have much competition. Our Man
City going to be that factor for them. Are Chelsea going to come into the fold? Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal always around it. Newcastle even. You know, if they can keep Isak.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That's a big point. Yeah. So, it'll be quite interesting next season. Let's see how they fare.
Right, we're going to go back to the phone lines because Clobby has got back in touch with the Sports Bar. Clobby, it's an absolute pleasure to speak to you for the first time on this show. What do you want to say? I hear on a grapevine you've got a quite strong opinion on Hugo Ekitike, who's looks like he's signing for your boys.
Yes, I have. When I heard that they were going to buy him, I really was really pleased. The first time I saw him, I really was impressed. He's a kind of a Thierry Henry. He's got skill. He's quick. He can link up with players.
He's not better than Alexander Isak, though. Aren't you a bit disappointed that Liverpool haven't gone in for him first?
Isak, as I said to one of your guys, I said that Hugo is basically a better player, but Isak is a better striker. And what Slot wants, he wants a better player. He wants a player that's going to link up with Wirtz, with all the midfield players we have, all the Salah and everybody else. That's how good he is. He's young as well, so he can literally get better and better and better, and he will do, because when players come to Liverpool, they always get better and better, become a superstar. Yeah, I mean, the news at the moment is that we're not finished yet, so who knows? We might even go for Isak as well. So that's a warning to everybody. We're not finished yet. So the 290 million that we've spent could be 350 or whatever. Or
definitely, yeah. Because you've got space to do that, haven't you? You've got space. Because you didn't spend last season, and maybe you don't spend next season. So you're actually buying for the future too.
It's like people saving their money in a bank or whatever, and they save it for a couple of years because they want to buy something or whatever. They go back into the bank and they pull it out and they start buying whatever they want to do. That's what Liverpool do. That's why they've always had great business club and everything. And then obviously they've got the great negotiators and shoes and everybody. So that's why we were able to get the players.
Clobby, I've got to ask you, who is your biggest threat next season? Because I look at what Arsenal are doing in the transfer window, and I just sort of think with Gyökeres coming in, the potential maybe if you're getting Eberici Eze, I think they've signed really well sort of around the team as well. You've got Zubamendi, who I think is going to be great. Madueke. I think that Arsenal are going to be probably your toughest opponent. Do you agree?
No, I think it may well be Chelsea. I think that the idea of them winning this well, okay, winning the World Championship, what it does, it gives you even more confidence. And maybe this might be what this young Chelsea did. Remember what Slot actually said at the beginning of the season last year when we played Chelsea at Anfield, they did play better on the field. So now they've got an extra year. They've won the World Championship. That's going to give them confidence. Now, the problem is Man City are sniffing away and they want to get Parker back. So now Chelsea have to keep him. If they lose him, then no, they won't even get into the top 4.
Do you not think that I just think, Clobby, that Chelsea are probably a little bit too soon. I can see why you're admiring them, and I can see that, you know, what they've done in the Club World Cup. I think they've bought really well, but I just wonder maybe if Chelsea are it's a little bit premature to say they're going to be in that title race, whereas Arsenal have been there or thereabouts for years, mate. And with Gyökeres coming in, he's scored 100 goals in 2 seasons.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit early for Chelsea, but I would be really surprised if they're not a threat to us. I think Arsenal will be a threat, but they literally on their last leg. I'm telling you now, if they don't do it this year, they never will.
No, I don't think Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal on their last legs. I think Arteta might be on his last leg.
Oh yeah. And this is why Slot is buying all these players, because he wants to dominate the football. Yeah. I said last year that Slot could well be the Paisley of Liverpool. And remember what happened when Paisley took over? He became this trophy machine. I'm not saying that Slot's going to do it, but he's bringing these players in, and I'm not joking. They are some super players that are coming to even a strong squad.
Well, he's buying the players.
I was a bit worried about was at the beginning of the season when we sadly lost Jota. There did look a bit of very deep depression. But what's happened is we've got all these players come in. Frimpong, who's an absolute joy to watch. He's got so much bouncing in, so much laughter and everything. And that laughter and that fun has come back, which is dangerous for the other teams, because once that comes back, which it is, if you watch some of the YouTube trainings and stuff, the staff have done unbelievable to get back that glint that was there last year. And boy, is Liverpool going to be very, very difficult to stop from retaining the title.
Yeah, Clubby, I think for me, obviously, we know what happened with Diogo, and heart goes out to all the Liverpool family. But events like when that happens, it brings a togetherness, and it's
already at Liverpool.
That was already there, so it's just bolstered it even more. So they are going to be the ones to beat, obviously, and especially with the new signings on top of that as well.
I find it difficult to look at any other club and think that they're going to, as it stands, and I know things can change in a Premier League season, you know, the twists and turns and injuries and all that sort of stuff, but I just look at Liverpool and think they're going to have an absolute stellar year. And I know it might have been a bold claim from Clobby to say already at this point Arne Slot's going to be the next Paisley, but with the way that they're moving in the transfer market, I find it difficult to find any other sort of competitor, although I would say Arsenal are going to be their closest competitor. Nathan is an Arsenal fan. Arsenal, do you agree with me? Do you think that you're going to run Liverpool close or the closest? Do you even think that you can win the title?
I have no idea what you're talking about, because that is a bunch of nonsense.
What's a bunch of nonsense, Nathan?
Well,
I think Arsenal are going to be competing against Liverpool. You're an Arsenal fan, right?
No, of course. The Liverpool have upgraded their team and going to be the ones to be an XYZ.
Why?
We can go through one. I've waited for this show for 4 days.
Come on, bring it on.
No Jamie O'Hara, no Jason Cundy doing make a joke out. Just a proper conversation.
Yeah.
If we go through one by one the signings Liverpool have made and Arsenal have made, but just focus on Liverpool for a second.
Come on in.
What you're saying makes no sense, and what the whole talkSPORT channel are saying makes no sense.
What have we said that don't make sense?
Come on.
I'll give you a prime example. Everyone keeps saying that Frimpong. It's not my only example, by the way. I've got many of them.
All right, just give us one for now. We need to hear it.
Let's get it on.
Frimpong replaces Trent. How? One of them is a defensive, semi-defensive midfield player who has fantastic ball distribution. One of them is a right winger. End of conversation.
Okay.
They're not the same player. So Salah...
Do they have to be?
No, well, for Salah, yes, on the right wing, if they have to be. Unless we're saying, okay, so Slot comes in and changes the whole team tactics because we got the whole...
No. Remember, listen, Trent wasn't even playing in the back end of the season.
Yeah.
He was always in and out of the team. You know that, right? He wasn't stalwart.
Carlton, I'm not being rude, but using your first name, but I'm being very serious.
All right. Can sound that.
You mean the point at which they had already won the league? Are we having the conversation really? Trent, his assists from right back, doing the whole drift inside midfield and do the whole long ball thing, cut across the park to Diaz, or his usual thing, which is be the main assist giver to Salah. That was his role.
Yeah, but look, Trent. Obviously, they're different players. But what's wrong with having sort of signing a slightly different player? Frimpong can still be a good player, even if he's a different style of player to Trent Alexander-Arnold. He can still add to the squad. And also, I mean, that's one example. You say he got many, but they've also signed Florian Wirtz. They've also signed Milos Kerkez. They look like they get Ekitike through the door. So I don't know how you can say that they've had a bad transfer window.
Sorry, first of all, I didn't say bad. You said bad.
That seemed to be what you were suggesting. What are you saying?
Right. So I've done one. So their main attacking threat all of last season and the season before was Salah down the right wing.
Right.
Because Trent was giving him multiple assists. If we check every single season in the last 3 seasons, the most assists to Salah were from Trent.
Mm-hmm.
Frimpong is not that player. Frimpong wants to play where Salah plays. Okay? So if we say what you said about Kerkez, between the two of you, who would you rather defensively, Kerkez or Robertson?
Well, I think either works. To be fair. I mean, but
he's trying to. But listen to this. He's trying to build a new team. He's trying to build a new team.
I'm answering your question.
Go on.
So Wirtz, record-breaking transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Where does he play in the first team?
Well, I think he can play anywhere along the front line.
That's not for us to worry about. They've brought these players in for a reason, because Slot wants to play a certain style. That's nothing to do with what I think or what you think. It's what he wants to do. Remember, he didn't spend no money last season, so he had to just work with what he had.
And he still managed to win the league.
And still won the league. So now he's buying players that not just to replace, but he wants a certain player to replace what he had already, but wants to play in the style he wants to play now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you think or I think. They know what they're recruiting. It's as simple as that.
Look, keep your calls coming in, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, football fans. Do you agree with Nathan, the Arsenal fan there, who to me seemed to suggest that Liverpool have been signing a bunch of dross this summer and they're not going to be any good? Well, I mean, that's what it felt like to me.
Well, we'll see. Time will tell.
Let us know. But up next, we're joined by European football expert Kev Hatchard, who's going to tell us just how good Hugo Ekitike is, despite what Nathan's just said. 03717 223344. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus B, gambleaware.org. evening. This is the record-breaking Sports Bar on talkSPORT with me, Max Scott, alongside Carlton Cole. Still to come, we'll bring you tomorrow's back pages as soon as they're in. But first, 21 minutes to go is the brand new weekly podcast from Goldstein and Cundy, and it's out now. Each week, the former late-night superstar duo will offer a flavour of the good old days in a no-holds-barred, adults-only show that lasts exactly 21 minutes and not a second more. Episode 2 was released this morning with new episodes every Monday. That's 21 minutes to go, the new weekly podcast with Goldstein and Cundy, available now wherever you get your podcasts from. Right now, it's time to get the latest transfer rumours in association with talkSPORT Bet.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Delighted to say, to take us through all the latest transfer news is our very own European football expert, Kev Hatchard. How you doing, Kev?
Yeah, very well indeed. I must admit, I was quite tempted to try and get on earlier to speak to Nathan.
Yeah,
I have to say, because I did think he was a little too negative about Liverpool's transfer so far.
What's going on with him? I don't understand.
I think it's a bit of Arsenal jealousy, maybe.
Do you reckon? But why?
I think that's exactly what
Arsenal doing bits in the transfer.
Bit of panic.
No, but they're doing all right in the transfer market.
Yeah, they're doing fine. Yeah. But I think it's really interesting because I think the perception of... I think Liverpool have taken a few people by surprise. I mean, with the Wirtz thing, they absolutely took me by surprise because the talk in Germany for weeks and months actually had been that if he was going to go from Leverkusen, the move was going to be to Bayern, and then he'd go to the Premier League further down the track.
Yeah.
But whatever Arne Slot and the other people at Liverpool were able to present to him absolutely did the trick. His father, who's very, very influential in his career,
I remember you telling me.
Gave an interview recently, and he said, look, he said, we spoke to Bayern a lot, and Liverpool were able to convince him that that was absolutely the place for him. They told him exactly how they wanted to use him. Arne Slot was very convincing, and that's the kind of business that Liverpool are doing this summer.
Absolutely, and I think I think as well, for me, Kev, I don't necessarily always associate Liverpool with being big spenders. You know, and I think it's almost, in a weird way, it's refreshing to see them say, you know what, we know what we need in order to continue. We didn't really give Arne Slot any new pieces last season. And to see them going for all of these sort of younger players. I mean, can you talk to us about Hugo Ekitike? Because, of course, we understand at talkSPORT that full agreement's been reached with Frankfurt for a deal worth around £79 million. But, as I always say, any European football knowledge I have is deferred to you, Kev. And so I take your view as gospel. So I'm not going to pretend to be a Bundesliga expert. What sort of player are we going to see in Hugo Ekitike?
So I think the thing to bear in mind about Ekitike is he's unusual. And what I mean by that is he's maybe not your classic 9 in the sense that he's not some big bustling target man. He's not necessarily got the track record that he's going to bang in 25 goals immediately. Yeah. But I think what's interesting about him is his ability to combine with other players. And you look at his touch, his ability to beat people one-on-one, his ability in transition. I think what they're looking at is a guy that can combine with the likes of Wirtz, Salah, Gakpo, create those little 1-2s, create those moments where you can maybe break down a deep block, something like that. And he does the work defensively as well. And he's somebody that's had bad experiences in the sense that he went to PSG. That didn't work out for him because of the sheer talent that they had at their disposal. But then he went to Frankfurt and he rebuilt. And he's played really, really well for them for 18 months. He's worked with an excellent coach in Dino Topmüller, who I think has really improved him. And I think what he showed Ekitike is that he can combine with a player like Omar Marmoush. But when Marmoush left to join Manchester City, that's when Ekitike tried to step up and be the main man as the 9. So... yeah, I think Liverpool are looking long-term. Is he perfect? No. Is he the finished article? Absolutely not. But he's got that raw material for a coach like Arne Slot to work with.
Look, moving on to Mark Pubel. Situation continues to confuse as AC Milan have slowed down again. And it seems like Wolves want to sign him. So what's going on there?
Yeah, it does look like Milan have kind of taken a step back with this. He's a player that has represented Spain at youth level and has gone up the kind of youth levels there. He's kind of bounced around between La Liga and the second tier with Almeria and previous clubs. But he's somebody who is seen as an attack-minded fullback, and he's somebody that's been on the radar of a fair few clubs at the top level for a while. And I think it's really interesting, actually, because the fact that Wolves and Milan are fishing in the same water, it kind of gives you an idea of where the Premier League is. That's not to have a go at Wolves, by the way. No. But it's really interesting because it wasn't that long ago that Bournemouth were doing the same. You know, Bournemouth and Milan were going head-to-head for players. And if you'd said that to somebody 10 years ago, Bournemouth are going to go head-to-head with Milan for a player, you'd have thought they'd lost their minds. So I think it does just show you just that pull of the Premier League and that financial ability that the Premier League clubs have.
Kev, as you can imagine, we've been talking about Marcus Rashford, and it has been eliciting an incredibly emotional response on both parts, to be fair, from Manchester United fans. I mean, we've heard it all this evening already. What's the latest in terms of his move to Barcelona? And I mean, despite whether or not some fans believe he deserves it or not, Carlton and I can't get away from the fact that this is ultimately a really exciting move for Marcus Rashford, who's clearly desperate to be in Thomas Tuchel's plans.
Yeah, it is an exciting move. It could be exciting for Barcelona as well. It could be exciting for England, as you say. I mean, he is, and he showed us glimpses of this at Villa, a quality player. We know that, but he probably needs a fresh start. And this might not have happened. In fact, I don't think it would have happened if the Nico Williams deal had been completed, because Barcelona wanted to sign Nico Williams from Athletic Club. He's been a target of theirs for a long, long time. But that fell over at the last minute. And so they turned to Marcus Rashford, who's a player who I think they have admired for quite a while. I think where Rashford can really work for them is he can cover multiple positions. So he's not necessarily going to be a nailed-on starter straight away. But what he is somebody that they can kind of integrate slowly into the squad. And you can't just drive Rafinha into the ground, Lewandowski into the ground. They will need to give Lamine Yamal a rest every so often. And for Barcelona, as long as they can register him, they get a player, and that's never certain these days, by the way, but they get a player who's of international standard, has got a lot of experience, who's a player that can cover pretty much all of those positions that they want to cover. So it makes a lot of sense for them. It's an opportunity for him to really show people what he's all about. And I do think you need to change of scene. So this feels like an opportunity that he should really grasp. So I guess we'll see what that looks like in the fullness of time. But in terms of deserve, I mean, look, he's played a hell of a lot for Manchester United, and whatever people think of the way it's ended, that body of work at United, I think, deserves
not too bad.
A fair amount of credit. And I can, look, you know, he's a homegrown guy, and you know, a lot of people would wanted him to stay and be successful all the way through. We know football doesn't always work like that. You know, it doesn't go in a straight line. So I wish him all the best if he does complete this, and there's every indication that he will. I think that fresh start could do him the world of good. And actually, it'll do Manchester United some good, because it'll get him off the wage bill and they can put that money into somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Kev, look, thank you so much for joining us. An absolute pleasure to get your insight, particularly, I'm sure, Liverpool fans, other than that one Arsenal fan, Nathan, who clearly thinks that Ekitike is a dreadful signing. I believe you, Kev. I believe you.
Well, I mean, you know, I hope Nathan's not right. That's what I'll say. And that's with all respect to Nathan. He's entitled to his opinion, of course, but I do think Liverpool are doing some fairly good business.
I would tend to agree, Kev. Absolute pleasure. Speak to you soon, mate.
Cheers, guys.
That is our European football expert, Kev Hatchard, bringing us up to date on all the latest transfer news, particularly the incomings and outgoings within Europe. Right, still to come, we've got our midnight Triv, and we need your help. 03717 223344. And up next, we've got the rest of talkSPORT. This is a sports bar on talkSPORT.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Good evening, how are we? This is a record-breaking sports bar on talkSPORT with me, Max Scott, alongside Carlton Cole. Still to come, we've got Midnight Triv, and we need your help. 03717223344. Get in touch if you want to be involved. But first, the Lionesses are back in action tomorrow night in a huge game in the European Championship semi-finals as they take on Italy live on talkSPORT.
The ball for Black Stenius. She's racing into the area. She's clear on goal. It's 2. And are England going to be knocked off their Euros purge tonight?
After the 2-0, we finally started playing a bit better.
Mead is there. And Jibang! 2-2! Holmberg. It's over! England are in the semi-finals. They expected somehow from somewhere. The Lionesses have delivered.
We play to win. It's another exciting tournament so far, and I hope tomorrow is going to be another exciting game. And I have one hope is that we win it.
That is headed by Durrani, and it's in. Italy have done it. They are heading to the first semi-final since 1997.
I feel like they're going to be a little bit feisty, and maybe we have to match that.
I hope we will be more on the ball, but we have to be tight on the ball and challenge them.
This motto, in Serena we trust. We have to trust her again in the semi-final that she makes the right calls.
Yeah, massive night for the Lionesses, and ahead of tomorrow night's game, Serena Wiegman spoken to talkSPORT and highlighted how the entire camp has worked hard to be fit for the semi-final.
The physio doctors did a great job again. The players did a great job, and it was really nice to have that extra day because it has been really intense in between every game so far. We had 3 days, and now we have 4 days, so that's very helpful. And it's very nice to have everyone on the pitch and available for tomorrow, as it looks like now. So yes, we're really looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, massive game, of course. That's going to be live over on talkSPORT tomorrow night. But now it's time for a little bit of this. All right,
maybe not.
Maybe not. But it's time for summer. It's time for summer, right? And this is what it is. This is the rest of talkSPORT, where we run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across the network. Now, let's kick off with Drive earlier today with Adi Oladipo and Gabby Ogbonlahor. The boys were discussing how they would manage Jamie O'Hara if he was still a player, and it seemed Gabby used the opportunity to absolutely hammer his attitude.
Right, of all the ex-pros at talkSPORT, who had the best and who had the worst attitude as a player?
I'd say Benny had the best and Jamie's was the worst. Terrible attitude.
Really?
Wanted to be the David Beckham of Essex, didn't he?
Yeah,
that was his attitude. Shocking.
He probably was for about a month.
Yeah.
Right, if you were managing Jamie, how would you do it?
I'd man him from the canteen. I'll give him a packed lunch of tuna on its own with salad.
Yeah.
And ice cream.
and I'd shut all the off licenses.
Yeah, love and lasagna. Yeah. And keep him off all them apps. That's how I'll do it.
Yeah.
Gabby's absolutely loving digging one into Jamie there, isn't he?
No need for it, really, is there? Just leave him alone, man.
But
he's a great guy.
If you were managing O'Hara, how would you manage him? What would be the best way to keep him on board? How would you keep him in tow?
Just have Faces nightclub round the corner from where he lives. He'll be in there every day.
And you say Gabby's digging him out? What are you saying about Jamie? I thought he was a consummate professional, was O'Hara.
Oh, mate, he loved the drink.
Well, I beg to differ. Right, who had the worst attitude in the dressing room when you were playing?
The worst?
The worst attitude.
Oh, come on, I'm not throwing anyone under the bus.
All right, who liked a good bev, like our Jamie?
We all did, really. We all did. I don't know why I threw.
We need names, Colin. We need names.
I'm not that type of guy. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. There's no need for that.
Well, what about talkSPORT? Because we don't mind. This is a question I've been given.
Go on.
Who's the laziest talkSPORT presenter?
Laziest? Oh, God, that's hard, isn't it? Who's going to be late? Presenter-wise?
Yeah, presenter.
Anyone that don't do their homework?
What homework?
Because I expect when I come in to be co-host, that the host carries me because I don't do no homework myself.
So you're lazy.
Yeah, I'm lazy, mate. Yeah, that's me. I just go on pure vibes, don't I?
All right, you'll answer this question better because you're not digging anyone out. Who out of the talkSPORT presenters do you think would make the best gaffer?
Oh, that's a good one. Best gaffer, I'll go Alan Brazil.
Yeah.
Or Ali McCoy's.
Yeah.
Well, he's not the yeah. I gotta go Alan Brazil.
Do you think you'd enjoy playing under a team managed by Simon Jordan?
No, because do you know what it is? He'll use too many big words and he'll baffle the changing room. He'll use too many big words for us. We're simpletons. We just want it plain, and then we can deliver.
Yeah,
when you start using all these mind-boggling words, you'll lose the room. You'll lose it.
Do you know what? I reckon I'd enjoy playing with Simon Jordan. I reckon you'd know exactly what it is that's expected of you. He'd keep it like clear what the expectations were. I think I'd succeed under a Simon Jordan leadership. But I think I'd enjoy my life more.
I'd rather him be my accountant. I'd rather him be my accountant or solicitor
or lawyer. Yeah.
Or lawyer. Yeah. That's him. That's his role.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go over to breakfast now with O'Hara and Dean Saunders. They were joined by Neil Warnock, who was asked what he'd do with Jamie O'Hara if he was still managing.
Like, say Jamie was playing now, right? He's normally, his fighting weight is 11 stone. He's about 15 stone now.
What would I do if he was playing for me?
Yeah, that's something. See, that's why you're. That's why you lasted longer than me. I persevered with him. Yeah. And
I would have loved to play for him.
And the food bill went up as well.
Oh, wow. There's no need for that.
Mate, there's no love lost on breakfast, is there? Jamie O'Hara will be back on Sports Bar as soon as you can think.
He said the food bill went up as well. That's bang out of order.
That is brutal, mate.
Anyway, let's ask you some questions. How much do you think O'Hara is worth in today's current market?
Current market with inflation. Look, one thing I will say, when I was younger, me and my dad, we're massive lifelong Forest season ticket holders, and watching the football at the time was absolutely mingra. It was horrible. But we would watch the Premier League just to watch decent football, and me and my dad always rated Jamie O'Hara as a player. And obviously we didn't watch him week in and week out, but I think he was a good player with a lot of potential, who I think under the right management.
There's a lot of waffling going on. How much is he worth right now, mate?
Today's market, I'll go 30 mil.
30 mil?
Today's market.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bang out of order. 30 mil, I don't even think that gets you a player in the Premier League.
No, you didn't say I was signing for a Premier League.
Oh, yeah, it's Championship then, yeah? Anyway, next question. How much do you think O'Hara spends a week on food?
I reckon Jamie's probably got a nice little sponsorship deal with some of those, you know, those ads you get on Instagram and stuff. Those lovely healthy ready meals. So I think he probably spends a lot less than we'd think, because I reckon he's probably got some nice deals up his sleeve.
Yeah, he's got meal deals.
Yeah, I reckon.
What's your favourite meal?
Oh, Christmas dinner, mate.
Is it?
Christmas dinner, absolutely love it. Or everything about it. I'd have it every week if I could.
Christmas dinner, yeah?
Proper Christmas dinner.
What about a roast? Just like a roast?
Yeah, roast would be
roast
second.
on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me as well. I love a roast on a Sunday.
I'm not very good at cooking them, mate.
Oh, you're not
cooking? Do you know, there ain't enough Toby... I moved down here from Notts a couple of years ago, just under 2 years ago. I ain't seen a Toby Carvery in sight. There's a Toby Carvery...
one next to me.
Is there?
Yeah,
well, you have to tell me, mate. Yeah. But I'm telling you now, there is not enough Toby Carveries. There's one almost on every street where I'm from.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and they're just banging. They're cheap, cheerful, thick gravy. There's not all this horrible fatty stuff on the meat. It's just all pure meat. I love it.
What about so here's another question, one more. Is Neil Warnock the most iconic British manager?
I'd say he's up there, mate, but for me it's Brian Clough.
Yeah.
And hearing the stories from Mark Crosley, from all the like sort of legends, those boys in the 80s, 90s, I can't say anyone else other than Brian Clough. As he said, he's in the top one. But you can't. Warnock is a cult hero, mate. He's a cult hero, isn't he? Do you reckon you'd enjoy being managed by him?
Oh, definitely. Like, you know what you're going to get with him. He'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And he won't hold back.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, don't forget, breakfast is back tomorrow as Jamie continues to slack on the sports bar as he takes over the mornings with Neil Warnock. Right, up next we're going to see what tomorrow's back pages have to say about another possible new signing for Liverpool. Crikey, who is it? You're listening to the sports bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus B, gambleaware.org.
10k for Coldplay.
Yeah, this is the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with me, Max Scott, alongside Carlton Cole. Still to come, we'll see what tomorrow's back pages have to say about another new signing for Liverpool. But first, Coldplay are back at Wembley this summer, and we've got a huge VIP prize up for grabs for one lucky listener. We're giving you the chance to win 6 tickets in a private box for you and your mates on August the 22nd with full hospitality. Plus, we're chucking in 10 grand spending money, completely tax-free. Here's how to enter. 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland, for a chance to win. Text the word WIN to 83338 by the 4th of August at 11 p.m. and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or post your name and number to Coldplay Competition, PO Box 3190, Colchester, CO28GP, to arrive by 5 p.m. on the 7th of August. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. One thing I will say is, if you've got a mistress, do not take her to the Coldplay gig, because it isn't going to end well. Have you seen that?
He'll find you. He'll find you. He'll find you.
Yeah, Coldplay will weed them out.
He'll see you.
Right.
Be careful. Be very careful.
Now it's time for the back pages. Yeah, this is the Ralph Ellis Back Pages, where myself and Carlton Cole bring you tomorrow's headlines. Tonight, joining us now is talkSPORT's very own Jack Cunningham to run us through some of the biggest stories. How are you, Jack?
I'm good, Max. How are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing really well, mate. I'm doing really well. I mean, first of all, how are you feeling, Jack? You know, Newcastle, you couldn't get Delap, you couldn't get Mbeumo, you couldn't get James Trafford, you can't get Ekitike. And are you worried about Isak?
Don't remind me. Dear me.
Are you worried about Isak maybe jumping ship as well?
It's not guaranteed that he's going to stay at this moment in time, to be fair. I mean, look, Liverpool are still kind of talking, and I don't know where they've got this money from. I know they haven't spent it, but I mean, like, they're going to spend like £500 million this summer. It's absolutely ridiculous. But look, I think Newcastle's stance throughout it has been that Isak is not for sale, and it can't change. Like, it literally can't. Like, if we're talking about Newcastle wanting a challenge at the top of the Premier League, you can't sell one of the best strikers in the world to a team who you're going to be challenging with. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I get PSR as a thing, and 150 million or whatever would massively mean that Newcastle have no PSR worries. But it's more the message it sends about the project. I mean, there's a lot of issues around at the moment anyway, around the fact that there's no CEO. Darren Ailes was announced to be leaving nearly a year ago. There's been no replacement.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mitchell left. Mitchell, by the way, there was an article today. Turns out he ended contract talks with Isak, and last summer he kiboshed a deal for James Trafford as well. So what an absolutely useless appointment he was.
Look, Jack, it could be worse. You could be a Manchester United fan, and that leads us into tomorrow's back pages. In the Sun, it's Bry aims high. What's all that about?
Yes, obviously, Mbeumo has finally completed his move to Manchester United. I mean, one of the most boring transfer sagas I think I've ever seen in my life, because he was always going there, but it just took forever. And basically what it actually made the deal happen was that Newcastle were like, oh, we're interested in you on Vissa. And then suddenly Man United were like, oh, we're now going to pay exactly what Brentford wanted. So we just wasted a month for no reason. So anyway, Brentford have got £71 million for Bryan Mbeumo. He had a year left on his deal. I don't know how no one's been really reporting that. One year left on his deal, and they got £71 million for him.
Desperation.
But anyway, yeah, exactly. But anyway, Mbeumo is basically saying that he has joined Man United because he thinks he will win trophies. And I'm going to call him out on this, because I think out of the teams he had to join, Newcastle and Tottenham, they actually won something last season. They were.
I reckon you're just a salty Newcastle fan, Jack. You can't take the rejection, mate.
I mean,
well, no, mate. If I couldn't do that, I mean, I'd have to just give up on football, being rejected by everyone. So, Mbeumo, no, but I do think genuinely from his point of view, I get it. Man United are a massive club. I'm not sitting here and saying they're not. However, as a football player in your career right now, what is the better move? If you're going to win something, it's to Newcastle or Tottenham, because they've actually won something recently. And Man United are not in any position whatsoever to be winning anything. Like, I can't say it. I don't say it at all. Like, and ultimately, Mbeumo is a fantastic footballer. I mean, 20 goals last season. Did massively exceed on his XG. I think it was like he got 10 XG, got 20 goals. Don't know, people do. That does kind of indicate something. But still, I think he'll be a very good player for Man United.
Yeah.
However, I am going to call it now. I think Elanga will do better than Mbeumo in terms of goals and assists by the end of the season. And I just think Mbeumo was basically moved there because Man United are a big club, and he's sort of stuck in that sort of nostalgia rather than actually thinking about what's best for his career.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Moving on to The Times, article written by Kit Shepherd. The Lionesses can today, tomorrow, become the first England football team.
We're nearly there.
Yeah, we're nearly there. Yeah, I thought it was
we're nearly there.
past
It's
12.
fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
They could become the first England football team to reach 3 consecutive major tournament finals by beating Italy in the Euro 2025 semi-final in Geneva.
No, I mean, that's absolutely incredible, isn't it? You know, totally make history, and it shows how much, since Serena Wiegmann has come in to take that job, how much the Lionesses have totally dominated, basically. I mean, obviously the last game was they were very, very lucky to even still be in it at 2-0, because from watching it, could have easily been 3-4-0 to Sweden. They were so much better than England. But look, good teams get results when they're not playing well.
Yeah.
And they found a way. I mean, the penalty shootout was genuinely one of the worst shootouts I think I've ever seen. Why was the Sweden goalkeeper taking the 5th penalty? We'll never know.
Mate, yeah. all over the gaff. It was all over the gaff, mate. It was all over.
It was the best and worst penalty shootout I've ever seen in my life.
It was entertaining, but mate, the standard.
Yeah, it was, the penalties were dreadful, and also considering, like, imagine being that Swedish goalkeeper. You're about 4'3". You've saved 4 penalties in a Euros quarter final.
Done well.
And then you sort of John Terry one over at bar. Bless her.
Absolutely blazed it. I know. And ultimately, they're through. When England were, on the kinder side of the draw, I don't think anyone was really expecting Italy to get this far, certainly. Obviously, the other semi-final is Germany or Spain, so if England do get through, it'll be either, a repeat of the Euros final from a few years ago at Wembley, and we all know how that ended, of course, England won, or it'll be a repeat of the World Cup final in Australia and New Zealand, and obviously, again, we all know how that ended as well. So it'll either be a chance for revenge or it'll be a chance for a repeat. I think no matter what happens, look, as long as England make it to the final, then you never know. I think that most people would admit, who watch the Lionesses regularly, would say that ultimately they're not playing well and they haven't played well for a couple of years. But they keep getting results and they keep doing what they need to do to get through. And as long as you're still in it, you've always got a chance to win it.
Yeah, fair play to them. And if there's one thing to be said about sort of that whole Sweden game, it's that the girls did show that mettle and that resilience to sort of fight through. And, I loved seeing Lucy Bronze. It was like a Stuart Pearce moment, like with that penalty, and just sort of showing the girls, this is how you do it. Absolutely lever it. And ultimately, it's that attitude that's seen him through. So fair play to him. Right, back page of the Daily Express tomorrow is regarding Mark Gahey. The headlines on your marks. I mean, Liverpool, they just won't stop, mate. They won't stop, Jack.
They're absolutely, I don't know, so obviously they're now looking to get Mark Gahey, but Tottenham are also interested as well. So Tottenham tried to sign Mark Gahey in January. They saw, I don't know how much exactly it was, but they saw quite a hefty bid rejected for Mark Gahey in January. Obviously, Palace kept him, and very good decision because they went on to win the FA Cup and get European football.
Absolutely.
We won't go into that, of course, but still, because I'm sat with a Forest fan, but still.
Yeah, no, Palace fans aren't too happy with me at the minute, Jack. No. Even though I think that I want them to be in the Europa League, they deserve it. They still don't like me because I'm a Forest fan who,
Yeah, exactly. You can't win.
It is what it is.
Win on that one.
No, you can't.
No. But look, so Gahey looks like, the thing with Gahey is he has a 1 year left on his contract and he's not going to be renewing. No. He's not going to be renewing it.
You'd think they have to sell him, right?
They have to sell him.
Otherwise, they're not going to make any money on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much they're going to necessarily sell him for. I mean, if you look last summer, Newcastle had a £70 million bid rejected. They're not going to get anywhere near that for
get
this
30
time.
mil.
So,
same price as O'Hara.
30 mil. 30 mil.
Same price as O'Hara's market.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
I think that's bad thing has been kind to him, to be fair, mate. But,
yeah,
I mean,
solid workman-like midfielder. Scored that wonderful goal for Wolves.
Absolutely screaming.
Volley.
But on Mark Gahey, for me, Coley, he is the best English centre-back right now.
Yeah, no.
Of course, yeah, he's unbelievable. He can do it all.
Yeah.
He can do it all. He just got to stay fit. And because I remember we was relying on. Remember, he started in the Euros.
Yeah.
And he had a worldie, and no one expected
it. His best player over the
yeah. No one expected it, and then he's just built from there. I know he got injured lately, but he's back, and he's a valued player. So Palace is going to be a big loss for Palace, But anyone that gets his services has got some player on their hands.
Absolute steal. And Jack, just quickly, what's the very latest across the talkSPORT website? What's trending? What's going well?
Yeah, so obviously we all know Marcus Rashford is going to Barcelona, but as has been the case with Barcelona for a few years, they can't actually register him yet, or it looks like they're not going to be able to register him until they sell or get rid of some other players. So Marcus Rashford's arrived in Barcelona to have his medical, etc.
Right.
The deal's agreed. It's going to be a loan deal with an option to buy. The mad thing is he's basically half in his wages. So he currently earns roughly £16 million a year, and he's going to be earning £8.6 million a year.
It's worth it.
And Barcelona are going to be covering all of it. So as long as it goes through and he can actually get registered, because obviously Barcelona have had this problem with Dani Olmo, they've had this problem with other players as well. It's the reason they didn't sign Nico Williams in the end, because Williams didn't believe he was going to be actually able to play for Barcelona. So what's the point of leaving? He just signed a new contract with Bilbao instead. So if it goes through, it's a chance for Rashford to prove, how good of a player he actually is. However, I would say, is he going to get in the starting 11? I mean, they've got Rafinha on one side, they've got Yamal on the other side. Look, I get they've got a lot of games, they're competing in numerous competitions and stuff, but Barcelona's starting front three is Lewandowski, Yamal and Rafinha. Rashford, the only one Rashford's got any chance of replacing is Rafinha, who is just coming off his best ever season, and he's in contention to win the Ballon d'Or.
It's a long season.
And I think you said, Collie, before the show that you think you can see him playing centrally with Lewandowski not playing as many games.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that would be the option. I think because he's Amorim used him there. I'm not saying he's great at that role, but he could do a job. Yeah,
and I think again you've said it, like maybe the type of football and the type of defences in Spain are going to help him. He's playing for the best team there currently, and so he might have his pick at the goals, and I certainly hope that's the case. He scores some goals, and
no, I hope he does well. I do hope he does well.
Absolutely right, Jack, mate. Absolute pleasure as always. Thanks so much for coming on.
No worries, man. Catch you later.
Yeah, catch you later. That's talksport.com's very own Jack Cunningham bringing us the latest of the back pages. Right, up next, we've got Midnight Trivia.